During the past months, I have been taught many new concepts, and for my perception at the time, very radical ideas. Most of them shattered what I thought was reality and have changed me to my core. I am eroding beliefs that have been taught for generations and realizing the systems that I have trusted are put in place with a sinister agenda. Questioning these systems created great fear of the ridicule I could possibly receive from my friends and family. Hello, my name is Crystal Blake, and I want to discuss how I began separating myself from the herd. Many of us, when embarking on this journey, have a large support system in friends and family, most having similar beliefs. Our comfort is found with people who share similar interests, and to stray from that creates a risk of being ostracized and ultimately isolated. Stepping away from a group or herd can be difficult to many. The ego insecurity keeps us bound to others who are like minded, creating the herd mentality. We have been taught to act like everyone else and conform to what the normal is for that group culture. Also, with this internet culture, one doesn't have to leave the comfort of their own home or even meet people face to face to become part of a group. This anonymity and online connection is a dangerous mixture with the ego mind in full control of most individuals. By design, one can feel connected to others when truly they are just a name on a page. People tend to voice their Hapeem-driven opinions with anonymity and very little thought of others. I realized that a large amount of my time was spent on social media. I was very active on Facebook, had gotten accounts on Instagram and Twitter, but hadn't spent too much time with them. We have a great pull these days to be involved in this, which in my opinion is a major distraction. Think about how often you look at these sites throughout your day. Listen to the daily conversations people are having, and I guarantee you will hear information discussed from many of these social media sites. Hell, listen to the news. Quotes from these sites are stated almost daily. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram are only a few of the many ways to get involved in this herding from afar. We hear and see our friends, family, and anyone we choose to follow at a second's notice. We feel as if we are a part of someone's life. It has become the way for people to communicate. With people talking of what they have read and seen, it creates a great attraction for others to get involved. No ego wants to be left out. I began to analyze what this attraction really was. I had been able to quiet my ego enough to see that I was being distracted from allowing my soika to guide me. We all have layers of programming and taught behaviors, and to peel this away, I needed to spend time with myself. The need to be connected becomes almost an addiction for some. The habit has to be broken to see it for what it really is. I analyzed what I actually had on Facebook and realized that most friends were from high school, and I hadn't actually seen or talked to them in over 30 years. Although social media can be a great way to keep in touch, we have to understand its control over us. I tried to delete my Facebook account several times, only to return for the fear of missing out. Once my ego was set aside, I could dig into the concepts I was being taught and was able to see this platform and many others for what they really are. I could see how I was doing the exact thing the others were doing. I was using the form for ego self-gratification and was in need of others' acceptance. I was very insecure with the ego pounding me every step of the way. So for the last time, I deleted that account once and for all. This was the first step for me in detaching from the herd. This separation was necessary for me to learn who I really am. I not only freed up time, but I wasn't comparing myself to others and spending time looking at what others think is normal. I started to break down the programming that controlled my behavior and emotions. I began to realize how much of my perceptions had been molded by others and was seen through my own eyes in hearing my soika for the first time. The feeling of being left out went away, and I realized that that form of connection wasn't positive to my growth. Feeding the ego was the opposite of what I was trying to achieve. I spent several months digging into my own hapim habits and limiting my social engagements. I realized that most people are so involved in their own lives' drama that I wasn't missed too much. This gave me time to process and assimilate the information I was digesting. I found that we have so many different sources of distraction that can serve as a detour on our path. The ego will pull you back in if you are not diligent and focused. We all have lives to live, but you have to decide if you want to live it your way or the way others want you to live it. Do you want to follow the crowd? Do you need others' acceptance? If you do, you need to ask yourself why that is. Are you listening to your soika, or are you allowing the ego to control you? Separating from the herd was necessary for me to quiet my mind enough to begin to even hear myself. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy or pleasant to hear in the beginning. I had to deal with self-doubt and great insecurity, but with each day I am able to grow in confidence and independence. As I stated in the Reasons to Share video, I listen to those who will share and teach as a guide, but not an authority over me. I am the author of my reality and my ultimate authority, but I had to detach from the herd to figure out how I want my reality to play out. I have learned not to compare myself or my path to others. I listen to others share their journey to help me along the way. Humans are so controlled here, and I have to stay detached in order to continue to transcend that very control. This is everywhere, and we have to be diligent in observing this. Most of us want to be connected to others and have others agree with us, but this is programmed behavior. I don't know about you, but I do not want to act due to a program placed to control me. I have the drive to transcend this and live my life as I want. I am early on my path, and I have much to learn. Although there can be some great information on the internet, discernment must be used in weeding out the bullshit. One has to learn to feel the information to understand this. And what I mean by that is that we cannot solely use our thinking mind. We have to learn to use our soika to feel the information. As we truly take the time to practice this, we will get the knowing of what is true and what is not. The way in which you accomplish this has to be learned on your own, as we are all unique in that respect. Following others' advice on interpreting information may not always be accurate or wise. I have learned that forming my own interpretation can help me to see my own filters, which then can be removed. The point I'm trying to make is that this herd mentality was something I was completely unaware of, but had fallen prey to. Once I was made aware of it, it only made sense to detach from the most obvious areas and try to figure this shit out. The time spent on these social media sites is now spent learning and discovering where all these embedded programs and filters are so that I can become the true individual that I want to be. My reality is my choosing, and the programs placed to control me are slowly being removed. This does not require special skills or magical spells. It requires great focus and perseverance to deal with what is inside each and every one of us. You cannot exit the first cognition by following what others tell you or expecting some god, aliens, or whatever to save you. You will have to be the author of your own reality, and fear will only hold you back. To me, this was a very freeing experience, knowing that I have the power to change and gain ultimate control over myself. Others' acceptance is not necessary, and the chains that had bound me all my life are slowly being removed now that the lock has been opened. I truly hope this information has given you something to think about. You too have this power over yourself as long as you take responsibility and do not expect someone else to do it for you. It is hard work and takes effort on your part, but it is well worth it. I will never give up on myself, and I hope that you do not either.